Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. You know, if you've ever felt that familiar spike of dread right before you have to speak up in a meeting or introduce yourself at a networking event, well, you're exactly where you need to be. Today, we are providing the absolute ultimate antidote to networking anxiety by completely breaking down the standard English introduction structure. Think of this like, learning the blueprint for a house. Once you know exactly where the walls and the doors go, you never have to panic about how to build it in the moment. We're totally taking the guesswork out of first impressions.
So, tell me about yourself. It is literally the most common prompt in the professional world, and yet it's universally awkward, isn't it? Research shows we form a solid first impression in just 7 seconds. 7 seconds. Your mind just races. Do you start with your college major, your current job, your weird obsession with mountain biking? It's daunting because it feels so incredibly open-ended. But I promise you, by the end of this explainer, we're going to transform this terrifying open-ended question into a simple, predictable formula. You will never have to wonder what to say next.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap. We'll cover the anatomy of introductions, the hook and roll, establishing your background, the humanizing personal touch, and finally closing with a goal. Treating an introduction like a piece of architecture really helps reduce the cognitive load.
Section 1. The anatomy of introductions. Building the foundation. What we're tearing down and analyzing today is the definitive introduction structure guide. Now, this isn't just a list of random tips. This is a precise 5-step standard English formula that maps out the exact real-time chronological journey of a conversation. It's designed to take you from a total stranger to a connected professional in a matter of moments. Boom. Here is the entire formula unveiled at once. Hook, current role, background, personal touch, and goal. Notice how each step logically supports the next one. You can't really pitch a goal without a background, and you definitely can't share a background without a basic greeting. It's a perfectly supportive structure.
Moving right along to Section 2, the hook and roll. Starting strong.
Step 1 is the hook, or the greeting. This is simply sharing your name and your origin to open the interaction. Now, it sounds incredibly basic, right? But we really need to slow down and savor why establishing these basic pleasantries is the absolute necessary first step. Because, let's face it, before anyone cares about your impressive resume or your strategic vision, they need to know who's speaking and where they're coming from. It sets that vital baseline of human connection.
Breaking this hook down into its 2 constituent parts, we have your name and your origin. This simple pairing anchors the listener immediately. It tells them, hey, I'm a person and I come from a place. Whether that origin is your hometown or maybe just the specific department you work in within a massive company, it gives them a solid mental peg to hang your name on. It is incredibly effective.
Let's move to Step 2 and see how this builds. Once you've anchored them, you immediately transition into your current role. This is stating exactly what you do right now. Doing this instantly creates relevance. It answers their immediate internal question. Okay, so how does this person fit into my current context? You're telling them exactly where you stand in the professional landscape today.
Section 3. Establishing your background. Providing proof. Step 3 is your background and experience. These are the carefully selected highlights of your past work or skills. This is where you actually back up that current role you just mentioned. Think back to that house analogy. If your current role is the roof of the house, well, your background provides the structural support. You aren't just reciting a boring resume here. You're offering specific, curated proof that you have the skills and the history to be standing exactly where you are today.
Now look at how fast this chronological flow actually moves. In seconds 1 through 5, you deliver the hook. By 10 seconds, you've stated your current role. And by 20 seconds, your background. In mere moments, you've seamlessly escalated from basic pleasantries to substantial professional proof. It's incredibly efficient.
Section 4. The humanizing personal touch. Being memorable.
Step 4 is a hobby or a fun fact. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that up until this point, everything has been factual and strictly business. Adding this personal touch beautifully humanizes that rigid structure you've built so far, giving the listener something a little unexpected to connect with on a personal level. I actually want you to pause and think about this right now. What is your fun fact? Seriously, what's that one unique detail about you that isn't sitting on your LinkedIn profile? Having this ready to go is absolutely crucial. When you actively apply this framework, that fun fact is often the single thing the other person will ask you about later when they follow up. It is your conversational hook.
Finally, Section 5. Closing with a goal, the strategic finish.
Step 5 is the closing or goal. So the crucial point here is stating exactly why you are introducing yourself. Look, an introduction without a goal is really just a monologue. By stating your purpose, whether you want to learn from them, pitch a project, or just find some synergy between your teams, you are showing how the entire introduction culminates in a strategic business objective. You're giving the interaction a forward trajectory.
So here is our finalized chronological journey, from hook to role to background, personal touch, and the closing goal. These 5 simple blocks perfectly escalate a brief conversation from a quick handshake to a clearly stated business objective. It's elegant, it's comprehensive, and honestly, the best part, it works every single time.
I want to leave you with this provocative question to ponder. What is the strategic goal of your next introduction? Now that you have the complete 5-step formula to confidently build that introduction from the ground up, you can step into literally any room, virtual or physical, feeling completely empowered. Map out your 5 steps today, practice them, and just watch how smoothly your next networking opportunity flows. Keep learning, keep practicing, and thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.